Hey y'all, welcome back to Babeinlibrary. It's your girl Lisa, and today we're going to talk about family members I'd like to fight in books. Now, we know that it's a holiday season, and with the holiday season means family drama, family mess, a lot of togetherness time for people who don't really need to be in the same room. And sometimes I feel like I love when the tea is spilled and I love being a part of the drama, but I also feel like I need to protect the peace of my characters. And for that, I'm gonna step in for them because these mamas and sisters and daddies deserve to be dragged. And if they're not going to do it because that's their loved one, I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna do it for them because there is no love lost here. I don't mess with you because I see you. And I want this to be a reminder that because it's the holiday season, please remind yourself to protect your own peace. Do not feel like you have to be in rooms and in spaces with people who do not wish the best for you. Take care of yourself because you're going to be the only one that does it. Now, I'm going to start this off with a sister duo. Now, one sister I'm a ride for no matter what because I absolutely love her. And I've got a sister myself, and I could never see my sister stepping in to do this to me. And that is going to be Worth It by Lady Marie. Now, the reason why I put this here, this female main character, Michaela is someone that I very much saw myself in. Michaela is dedicated to her career and her career advancement, and she has been going for the goal and has kind of put relationships on the back burner. And her sister, Kendall, feels like that's a disservice. She feels like she's entitled to running her little sister's life. And she says, oh, you can't come to the wedding events for our mother if you don't have a significant other. You've decided that it isn't a priority, but everyone else is married and we'd like to do couple things and we don't have to cater to you because you don't have a relationship. So until you find yourself a significant other, don't bother showing up. This is where Kendall had me messed up. Because what does a man have to do with me coming to my mother's wedding event and supporting her and showering her with love? Absolutely nothing. Whatever's going on with you and your husband and your household, that's your business. But don't put your issues on me. And I feel like Kendall should have learned her lesson, but that's okay because Michaela got the last laugh. Michaela finds Reggie, who is a set up blind date situation by their younger sister, Lizzie. Now, Lizzie is kind of the neutral party. She's not really going for which way or another. Lizzie is trying to make sure that her family, her husband, her child is good. And she's like, hey, sis, I understand that Kendall is breathing down your neck. I've got a guy for you if you want to try at this last, go round of a blind date. I know we've been trying to set you up. It's no pressure. Michaela takes Lizzie up on this offer and she goes on a blind date with Reggie. Now, Reggie agrees that he will be there in a fake dating capacity for any wedding events for her. But every time they go on a fake date, he wants to go on a real date with her because he is interested in getting to know her. And of course, when it comes to fake dating relationship, one thing turns into another and they wind up falling in love. I absolutely enjoyed this, ate it up. It is so sweet and so wholesome. But again, Michaela had me messed up and whatever she gets, she deserves. If you find yourself loving this, I'm going to tell you I can do one better. This next one is a wedding type season affair between a female main character where I want to fight her mama and her sister. And that's going to be Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. Now, hear me out. This seems like it has an extremely messy premise. Janelle, who our female main character is, Janelle is going to support her sister A-Marie in her wedding. Now, A-Marie decides that she's going to go to Tulum, Mexico for 2 weeks. She wants her entire bridal party to come with her, and she's made Janelle the maid of honor. Now, the gotcha is that A-Marie is marrying Janelle's ex-boyfriend.
Yes, you heard me.
She, the sister, is going to marry someone that her sister has been in a relationship with. Now, I promise you it's not as messy as it sounds, because honestly, truthfully, Janelle doesn't care. Janelle was only in a relationship with this man for 6 months, and she is over it. She truly realizes there's no spark, there's no chemistry, and she wants the best for Amerie. So big ups to Janelle for being the bigger woman, because I'm going to tell you right now, there is no situation where I'm ever going to date my sister's man. Granted, we've got a big age gap, but age gap or not, I just couldn't be able to do it, and I would feel a certain way. But Janelle is a better woman. She decides, I'm going to show up for you every way that I can. I'm going to make sure you know that I don't want your man, sis. Literally. Now, the problem is Amerie doesn't believe Janelle, and so she decides to become bridezilla. She puts Janelle through the ringer. She puts her on wild goose chases. She's always constantly trying to make herself better. And the problem is, the additional problem, there's many problems here. But what I'm going to tell you is Amerie is the older sister. She is being bratty and catty to her younger baby sister. And the problem, furthermore, is that their mother is allowing it. Their mother is coming to Janelle to say, hey, you need to put your feelings aside and you need to support your sister. And I don't know why you don't want her to be happy, blah, blah, blah. That mama should be Switzerland. She should not be taking sides. And if she did take a side, she need to be taking Janelle's side. But that's how I personally feel. One thing I'm going to tell you is that the mama knows when right is right and wrong is wrong. And in this situation, Amerie is wrong as two left shoes. Janelle has a secret weapon. Now, nobody is in her corner, not her mama, not her sister. Her best friends are trying, but they're not getting the job done. And in steps book boyfriend Rome Martin. Now, Rome Martin is supreme boyfriend of 2023. He has all of the 5 love languages. He is going to wear a cape and ride out for Janelle and support her because he sees what's going on and he knows the woman that he is falling in love with does not deserve the vitriol that's coming from her sister and or her mother. And he's like, you don't have to go along with the plan. We can leave right now or we can enjoy our time in the island and you don't have to be here. Rome Martin is what every woman needs, and I am manifesting for myself in 2024. Let me tell you, this book is absolutely fantastic. You may find yourself getting upset with the mama and the sister just like me, but know that Rome Martin's got you covered. As we're talking about books that have family members I'd like to fight, nobody does it better than Janelle Seegers. I think J.O. Seegers has it in the bag. Every one of the parents in the New Haven series, they can pull a ticket and stand in line because I'm ready to go round for round, 12 rounds with all the family members, because we start off with Restore Me, the first in the New Haven series, and the person that I want to see in the streets and in the boxing ring is going to be Sloane's mother. This is an enemies to lovers, long-term pining, he falls first situation where Dominic has been in love with Sloane for 12 years. The problem is Sloane has been married to his best friend. Now, to be fair, Dominic saw her first, and he has had to hold his feelings in to himself and push Sloane away because he wants to be respectful of his best friend's relationship. Now his best friend is deceased and he finally feels like he can be open and honest with Sloane. And you get to see why a lot of the relationship and a lot of things that go on between Sloane and Dominic are the way that they are. And it's all at the messy hands of Sloane's mama. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and spoil and say what happens, but one thing I will tell you that should be reason alone for me fighting Sloane's mama is the fact that she showed up to Eric's funeral. Eric is Sloane's husband that is deceased. She showed up at the funeral and showed her behind. She came in and said, hey, this crime that you got going on, this welling and acting, distraught, that's embarrassing to me. You need to pull yourself together. A lady with class, poise, and money deserves to be a woman of regal stature, and you're not doing well enough in handling your husband's funeral. Excuse me? What you mean? If anything, this is the one day where I could lay out on the floor, roll around, and grieve however I want to grieve because I have lost my spouse. And if no one else knows, you're supposed to come here and show up and shower with me with love, care, and affection because you're my mother. That alone lets me know, Sloan Mama, she the first one that need to be standing in line, because me and her, we're going to have some words. But it gets better, because the next set of couples in the New Haven series has a father that I know has a special seat in hell. Like, his throne in hell is waiting on him, and the chariots that are ablaze are going to carry him down, because that's going to be Chris's father in Revive Me. Now, I specifically picked up Revive Me Part 2, The Affair, because in this one, you get to learn so much more about Chris's father and the foolishness he goes into. This man is greedy. He, on the levels of sin, he has greed down pat. This man will step on anyone and everyone to get what he wants. It doesn't matter if it's his wife. It doesn't matter if it's his son, his daughter, his son's girlfriend. This man is single-handedly destructing everyone's lives. And I know that nothing good is going to come of it if his daddy shows up in a scene, because he has done so much harm to the people that he is supposed to love and cherish and support, even going down the road of being criminal, just being a nuisance. Just know, if there is nobody that I hate more on this list, it's Chris's daddy. And I didn't mince words. I do mean I hate this man. Now, speaking of fathers, I still got a couple more fathers that, could never win Father of the Year award. One is going to be Ava's daddy. Now, this is Twisted Love. Now, I'm going to be fair to say I can't fight no man. But if I need somebody to take a man out, I'm going to call on Alex Volkov, because you read this book, you'll know why. Now, Ava is a sweet peach of a person, and she just exudes bubbleness and happiness. And this story is the start of the Twisted series. This is actually my favorite in the series. This is I Hate Everyone But You. This is My Brother's Best Friend, which is a trope I never thought I'd like until I read this. Now, Ava's father is someone that I did not expect. He is the definition of a snake in the grass. Usually you can find yourself in situations where you can see fathers are harder on their sons, but they also love their sons a little bit more, have a little bit more drive for them. And so for me, it was very apparent that I could see that he would treat his daughter one way and he would treat his son another way. But as the book continues to grow and you get to reading more pages, you realize that something is going on with Ava and her father. And you just can't necessarily put your finger on it. But when you do, oh baby, you know that this man, he ain't right. And he don't deserve to be nobody daddy. And the reason I say that is because when we find out and when Josh finds out, that's the end of that relationship. All that love and care that you were giving your son over your daughter, you can kiss that goodbye, because you done ruin it. This man has given Ava a phobia that is going to last her lifetime. But that's okay, because Alex is going to help her through that. And again, I love the relationship between them two. And I'm so glad that Alex, no matter what his original intention is of digging out and finding out the truth, he found out the truth and he stood up for his woman. And again, like it or love it, whether you like or love this book, one thing you're going to ride with me on is that Ava's daddy is trash. It wouldn't be complete if I didn't talk about a father that I know will be sitting with Chris's father in hell. And the reason why I say that is because this man, he scarred his daughter. And that is going to be Tiffany D. Jackson's The Weight of Blood. This is a retelling of Carrie. If you know the original Stephen King Carrie, you know that it was the mother in the relationship that was damaging and hurtful to the daughter. But in this situation, it's actually turned on its head. And this is where the father goes above and beyond to ostracize his daughter and to make her hate herself, hate the powers that she has, hate her connection to her mother, and denied her from ever being able to truly know who she was, made her hate being part Black. This is truly the definition of what it means to teach your child to hate themselves. And reading this, I knew Carrie is one of my favorite movie adaptations, and I knew that this was inspired in it, and I knew the relationship that I would have to the parental figure, but it goes a step further when we talk about making your child pretend and, you know, brainwashing them to believing that there is something wrong with them, and believing that they're the issue, and believing that they could portray anything other than being Black and whole and beautiful. And for that, her daddy, he got what was coming to him. And if she didn't do it herself, baby, she could have tagged him in and we both could have been going at it with this man. But all's well that ends well. And I'm hopeful that this character gets the peace that she deserves. Now, the last family member that I'm going to talk about is actually the mama and the daddy. So this is a twofer. That's going to be in Brittany C. Cherry's The Mixtape. This is a romance between Emery and Oliver. Oliver's family is fantastic, which really gets to show you how Emery has desired and missed out on so much of having a loving relationship. Now, Emery and Oliver find each other one night at a bar where Emery is working, and she has always been in love with the music that Oliver and his brother has produced. Now, Oliver hasn't made music for a very long time because his twin brother died in a car crash, and he is having survivor's guilt. Now, Emery is doing her best to make sure that this man doesn't drink himself into a stupor, that the media doesn't get a hold of them, and he decides to take her up on the offer of her being his chef because she is a really great cook. Now, in this, you realize that she has been estranged from her mother and father, and she has a daughter. And her daughter is someone that she has been taking care of, and she's just struggling to make ends meet. You later find out that there is more to the story in relation to her daughter and more to the story in relation to her parents. Her parents have always shunned her and have treated her poorly. And it was more so her father than her mother, but her mother always went along with it. We know that that happens more times than not in relationships. And I just wanted her mother to stick up for her and to stick up to her father. But you get to see the reasons and why her mother did what she did and why the father treats Emery so poorly. It all ends well because Oliver's family comes in and shows her all the things that she's been missing in life, and she gets the love and support and the true understanding of what family should be, and her daughter is protected by the family that Oliver has, and this is found family to a core. This is going to wrap up my, family members I'd like to fight. I'm going to ask you all to do me a favor. In the comments, I'd leave some sort of music emoji for the mixtape. Let me know if you've got any family members in books that you feel like you'd like to fight. Drop it down in the chat, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.